Great. Hold on for a moment. Uh-huh. There we go. We got it 1111. Now we're going to go ahead and do this. She needs a very particular code. I wish I had understood sooner, but that's okay because everything is great.
I'm sorry, I should be speaker schedule.
No, this was completely my fault. Why are you not showing? Go ahead. Why are you not showing my live event? It's not showing a live event.
I see it. I see a YouTube.
It needs that code.
Ed is now live in the Corellian membership hub.
Right, I knew that too, but she needs that code from the YouTube, and it's not showing up on my YouTube account as a live event.
Let me look on my computer.
Okay.
I see it. Well, I see 27 minutes ago. One watching now started streaming a minute ago.
There it is.
All right.
That's it.
Okay. Is there
Find
a
the
code that
code?
we need from that?
I got it.
Yay.
Yay.
Now you're live streaming and talking.
Okay.
Not a problem. So you
Great.
can attach it to your Discord, and we've got it.
Okay. We should be focused on me at this point. Okay.
Is there anything that I need to do since I'm the host now to make sure we're
Make
focused?
me host. I'm going to take back host.
Okay, let me do that
Okay.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you should now be host.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I am waiting for the YouTube stream to catch up. I have Lord Don talking still and the video is focused on him.
Well, I just gave you co-host, so it's available to you.
Okay, great.
You have all your controls.
There we go. Got it. Live. And I've posted the link. All right. Welcome everyone to the Solstice Market 2020. My name is Rev Haecker, and I am your host. Today we have several speakers from the Corellian nativist tradition of Wicca, and we have about 6 to 7 vendors for your perusal. Now, something special with the vendors is that there is a magic word hunt. If you spend time visiting with each of the vendors and learn their magic words, then enter them verbally at the Vendor Magic Words Submission channel, you are entered to win our raffle. Our vendor treasure is being raffled, and you can find examples of what you might find in a basket on the event page on Facebook. Now I'm going to go over to Lord Silas Mimir and let him give his presentation.
Hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Great, I hope. I am Reverend Silas Mimir, and I've been with the tradition for a little more than a decade now. And I was a member of the Sacred Sea Temple for most of this time. Well, still a member, of course. Also running my own temple as well online. So today, let's go ahead and just get started. So between September 4th, 1879 and today, there have been many changes in the Corellian tradition. Our modern history of the tradition, to say the momentous acts declared in 1979, have shown substantial changes and growth in our familial ties. The appointment of Lady Crystal Haecker and Lord Donald Lewis Haecker as head and co-head of the tradition has molded the tradition for its unending potential. Welcome to Karelian Family Without Borders. As you know, the Karelian nativist tradition is a family tradition that began to open to the public in 1979 after the appointment of Lady Crystal and Lord Don. In this presentation, we will talk a little bit about the modern history of the tradition. When I refer to modern history, of course, I refer to significant events that have occurred in the last 40 years or so, beginning with the appointment of our current leadership. Of course, at this time, Lady Crystal has retired from the active public duties of this appointment, with Lady Stephanie performing the active duties as co-regent. To date, there are currently 49 full temples, not to count the proto-temples and shrines that are recognized in the tradition. The process has become a full temple has been refined over the years to prove its stability. How did we get here? Well, the Karel Mother Temple is the oldest temple in the tradition, with its foundation sometime around the birth of the tradition. The next temple would not be founded until almost 100 years later. As we know today, temples are not limited to being in the United States. Our first and oldest Spanish-speaking temple was chartered in year 3 Aquarius, that is 2003, and formalized the following year. It's located in Uruguay, South America. Since its birth, the Spanish-speaking community has seen exponential growth, but we will discuss that in a little bit. The next bit I would like to discuss is regarding the crystal web. The crystal web is a global energetic construct which was inaugurated by Reverend Sir Ed Carrell on August 8, 1988. The web uses buried crystals and other stones to form a giant network which can be used to facilitate earth healing, spiritual attunement, and communication, and to act as a battery offering additional energy to practitioners. The significance of this really is in the growth and the current global network that we have created over the years. And to show you that, we are going to go ahead and look at the current map with all of the locations. As you can see, there's many access points all over the world. Of course, it is heavily in the United States, but not limited to the United States. There we go. The next significant bit of growth that needs to be recognized is our online presence, beginning with the Daily Spell in 1998 and continuing with Witch School in 2001. As technology continues to advance, so does access and growth in the tradition. Borders are erased and our family is all over the world. Now I'd like to share some physical evidence of this by showing you the Daily Spell. Here's the Daily Spell, the visitors on the Daily Spell website. As you can see, it is heavily in the United States, however, not limited. Many visits from all over the world and different countries globally. We truly are a family without borders. Last year, I was finishing up my bachelor's degree and had taken a minor in Spanish. I had the opportunity to do a study abroad program in Spain. Being Karelian, we have lots of family in Spain. I arrived in Madrid and was met by said family. This was my first time in Spain and had such a warm reception that I will never forget. I had the chance to meet some of those that I have spoken to and guided through our programs. It was really a blessing. As we are talking about globalization and disappearing borders for our family, I'd like to share a short YouTube video that talks about language.
Now that we've helped people customize and save with Liberty Mutual, we can finally do some beach reading.
Making Dad's famous turkey?
Oops.
It's gonna be great.
Top 5 languages to learn in 2020. 5. Arabic. As the official language of many Middle Eastern countries where business opportunities are growing fast, learning Arabic can prove to be an advantage. Arabic is the liturgical language of an entire Muslim civilization, which spreads its influence to about 1.5 billion people. The language is spoken by 295 million speakers worldwide, and the official language of 28 different countries, including many developing economies in the Middle East and Africa. Arabic countries are developing quickly, having economies that, together, could rival even that of China. With this prosperity, the Arabic language is our 5th most important language in this list. 4. French. French was the primary language of diplomatic discourse for centuries. Today, there are 76 million native French speakers, but the number of speakers globally climbs up to 370 million, which proves how influential the language is. French is the official language of over 29 countries throughout the world, and it is the second most widely spoken first language in the European Union. France is still the 6th biggest economy in the world, and Paris continues to be a cultural epicenter. The French-speaking world also includes Africa, which is developing and rich in natural resources. The top 5 fastest growing African economies include the Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda, Tanzania, Côte d'Ivoire, and Mozambique, and French is an official language in 3 of them. French is also considered to be the language of love, which means it has to be one of the most important languages. 3. Spanish. Spanish is one of the most widespread languages. There are around 350 million native speakers, while more than 400 million use it globally as their second language. Spanish is the primary language in more than 20 countries, most of which are located in Latin America. However, the United States has been cited as the 2nd largest Spanish-speaking country in the world, where over 37 million people speak it as their primary language. As the U.S. is the world's largest economy and the Hispanic population in the U.S. is anticipated to double by 2050, this makes Spanish really, really important. If you are starting your business in the U.S. or anywhere else in the Western Hemisphere, Spanish needs to be one of your chosen languages. 2. Chinese Mandarin. The Chinese language is the new player on the ring, with the most amount of native speakers, approximately 985 million speakers, and having more than 1 billion people able to understand the dialect globally. It's the 2nd most popular language among internet users, and if the Asian markets continue to expand, Mandarin could supplant English as the most widely used language of the internet. This trend is due to the enormous economic shift that China has been undergoing for the past 3 decades. If this trend continues, analysts predict that China will become the world's leading economy by 2050, making Chinese Mandarin the 2nd most influential and important language on our list. 1. English. English is the most influential language on our list. It is used in 94 countries by 350 million native speakers, but as many as 1.5 billion use it to some extent. It is the official language of the US, Great Britain, and Canada, which are all on the list of the world's 10 biggest economies. Along with this, the English language also retains the #1 spot as the most commonly used language by 50% of websites and internet users, with 950 million users. Being essentially the mother tongue of the internet and computer technology, English is omnipresent globally. English will be crucial for entrepreneurs who want to thrive on the global stage. With all of this said, there is no denying of the fact that English is the language of globalization and the most useful one to learn today.
Now, you may be asking what this has to do with our Karelian family. Well, since we are talking about a family without borders, it means just that. No physical land borders, and to expand that, no language borders or barriers. The global access that is available is tremendous. Just to touch on other technology, we also use Zoom extensively to have meetings, rituals, and for many other purposes. The Magic TV channel on YouTube also serves as an archive of sorts for our many activities. Currently, the tradition has materials available heavily in English. However, this is being expanded. For example, the new reboot of the Karelian Times magazine is available in 3 languages: English, Spanish, and Tagalog. I think this shows the commitment of the tradition to truly be a family without borders. We haven't talked much about the family aspect of the tradition yet. As I mentioned, the tradition does come from the High Corel family. Through the application and initiation process, lineage for each member can be traced back to the High Corel family, as well as all energetic initiations have come from the same source. Also, taking this one step further, we refer to each other as brothers and sisters and treat each other as such. Yes, that does also include the occasional disagreement, as with all family members at one time or another. And now I'd like to share a vlog, one of Lord Don's vlogs that specifically has to do with family.
Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Chicago. And tonight our question comes to us from Mr. Jackers 18, who asked the Karelian point of view on the importance or non-importance of knowing where your family comes from culturally and ancestrally. And I think the Karelian answer to that would be that this is largely an individual decision based on one's personal spirituality. As a tradition, we're very big on the ancestors, on communication with the ancestors, on propitiation of the ancestors, but this isn't necessarily true for every individual Karelian. The people who founded the Karelian tradition were of mixed racial and cultural heritage, and I think most of the members of the Karelian tradition are of mixed cultural heritage, and most of the people in the world, for that matter. Particularly in the US and other parts of the developed world, but I think almost anywhere you go today, most families will be of mixed heritage in one way or another. So I don't think there's going to be a single answer to where your family comes from, and even if you are in a family that has a single answer to its heritage, before they were there, they were somewhere else, and before they were there, they were somewhere else. Because it's the nature of time and the nature of the human race that we have moved all over the place, and we've gone through many different cultural evolutions. Now, for some people, learning about their ancestors and their cultural heritage will be very important. It will be deeply spiritually empowering to them, and in that case, it's a really good thing, and we would certainly encourage it. And for other people, it's not necessarily part of their spiritual path. And so in the end, our answer would be that it is basically a personal decision. So I hope that answers your question, and until next time, may you blessed be.
Gracefully said, as always, from our Lord Don. So another thing to go along with the spiritual family is the equality. What I mean by that is, for the most part, we see each other as equals. It is true that there are different levels of the priesthood, first, second, and third degree, and even those that are dedicants that have not attained the priesthood yet. These divisions are insignificant, as we are all on a spiritual journey with our family. To be honest, these divisions are seemingly transparent. It is true that the higher degrees may have a more active role planning and participation. However, it is not limited to the higher degrees. Everyone is encouraged to participate and take part regardless of their title. This is precisely what it means to be family. I also feel that this is what makes us unique and more accessible to those that would learn. A few short years ago, our family dramatically increased. At one of our lustrations, we had some guests from another tradition that gave some wonderful workshops. Lord Don recognized them as cousins. I think this bond that was formed is extremely important as we move into the future, as we construct a more global family without borders. One aspect of family that is also important to acknowledge, and is one that sets us apart from other traditions, has to do with the ancestors. As Corellians, we work extensively with and receive continual guidance from the ancestors. Family is among the incarnate and discarnate. I do see the veil as another border that we continually cross. And with that, I'd like to share a video, another of Lord Don's vlogs that has to do specifically with the ancestors.
Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Vivian Dewey. And Vivian asks whether one's ancestors can come from places other than one's physical bloodline. And the answer to this depends in large part upon whom you're talking to. Certain pagan religions, certain pagan traditions that work with ancestors do hold the point of view that the term ancestor refers only to one's blood kin, who are now in spirit, only to one's physical ancestors. Other pagan religions and pagan traditions that work with ancestors feel differently. So it really depends upon the background that you're working in. There certainly are those traditions that feel that it's only your physical ancestors. There are also some where it's your spiritual lineage who you would look to as your ancestors. You see this a great deal in certain Eastern religions where you'll see the string of spiritual teachers who are appealed to as ancestors in daily practice. I myself am a Corellian Wiccan, and ancestors are very important in our tradition. And if you've been watching the videos from the recent lustration, you'll see just how important ancestors are to us. But the thing that you'll notice is that although there are many, many people in the Corellian tradition who work with the ancestors, usually what they mean is that they're working with the Corellian ancestors, members of the High Corel family who are now in spirit, but who are not physically related to them. Most of these people have been taught by the family and have adopted the family ancestors as part of their ancestry. And they bring through messages from them, they work with them, they make offerings to them, etc. But they do not have that physical connection, and it doesn't make any difference at all. They get perfectly good communication from the ancestors hear them, work with them, etc. So my answer to your question is that in terms of what works and what doesn't, any ancestor to whom you feel connected, anyone in spirit to whom you feel connected can be an ancestor to you. But what you'll want to do in practice depends upon what tradition you practice. And one's ancestors certainly can be the people that you're physically related to, but they can also be people you're spiritually related to, people you're philosophically related to, and people that you're emotionally related to, people that you have known who are now in spirit that you loved and who loved you. But there doesn't have to be a tie of blood for them to be among your ancestors. Now, of course, the term ancestor in its most literal sense does refer to those people from whom we're physically descended, but in its spiritual sense, it's much broader, and it refers to all those people now in spirit who influence your practice. So again, bearing in mind that it does vary according to one's tradition, that would be my answer. I hope you find it helpful, and until next time, may you blessed be.
Of course, this is a great vlog and definitely defines who we may choose to work with as ancestors. Lord Don has also mentioned in many chats that souls often travel in groups together. This gives more importance to the relationships we forge and less focus on the blood ties, as we are all tied together in one way or another as we find our way back to Goddess. May we all love one another. May we all work together and forge forward as we heal humanity. To close, I would like to share a video of a prayer for peace from Lady Calypso and the Proto-Temple of Arcer.
Greetings everyone, Reverend Aisha here, Feliz Encuentro, Reverenda Aisha here, and I am here to weave peace for the month of June. Y estoy aquí para tejer para la paz para el mes de junio.
Hi, this is Maureen Rivera from Puerto Rico, from La Escuela Pagana Wicana, doing the Correlian Peace Prayer. Blessed be.
Comenzamos. Inhalamos por la nariz, exhalamos por la boca y comenzamos con la oración coreliana por la paz.
I pray for peace.
Rezo por la paz.
I pray for love.
Rezo por el amor.
I pray for stability.
Rezo por la estabilidad.
I pray that love may overcome fear.
Rezo para que el amor pueda vencer el miedo.
And I send energy of love and peace for all the people of the world.
Y envío energía de amor.
Y envío energía de amor.
Y paz para todas las personas del mundo.
Y paz para todas las personas del mundo.
I create it, I accept it, I receive it.
Lo creo.
Lo creo.
Lo acepto.
Lo acepto.
Y lo recibo.
Y lo recibo.
By my will, so mote it be.
Por mi voluntad,
Que así sea.
que así sea.
Thank you so much, Raylene, and everyone in the School of Wicca in Puerto Rico to be part of the Carillion Peace Prayer Project. Gracias a todo el mundo en la Escuela de Wicca de Puerto Rico y a Raylene por ser parte de este proyecto de orar para la paz de los corelianos. And as always, como siempre, peace starts with us, with you, and the world. La paz empieza con nosotros, contigo, y con el mundo. Namaste. Blessed be. Benditos.
And thank you very much. If anybody has any questions. And Amanda, thanks so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us. So I have a question for you.
Perfect.
We have from Astrid Moongrove says, I'm just now discovering both her physical and spiritual lineage. I started with Ancestry.com and have some personal spiritual heritage in the prophetic and faith healing. Any tips for someone just getting started?
Just getting started. Well, you'll hear more about it a little bit later when Lady Lori does her presentation on Witch School. But to learn more and get more background and more of a start, I would definitely recommend going to the Witch School. If you like to read a lot, maybe definitely go ahead and get Lord Don's book, Living the Wiccan Life. That could help you incorporate some practices into your daily practices and such along those lines.
I remember that Lord Don has given the advice of developing a relationship with your ancestors, with either spiritual or physical.
Oh, definitely.
What is a way that you have developed a relationship? Do you have a specific practice?
So a lot of times when I'm trying to speak with them, I do have a diary type book that I'll write down whatever message they're trying to give me and just get into a meditation state. I do this also with my spirit guides as well. that also happen to be some of my own personal family ancestors. But really, the ancestors love to speak. They love to talk. They love to help and guide. So yeah, just maybe even like setting up an altar or some photos and some things along those lines to honor them. Light some candles so that they know that you're thinking of them, but really be open to messages that they may give you.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking with us and for your advice. And we hope to see you maybe on Discord, but either way, have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Well, that was a wonderful presentation by Lord Silas. And we are going to have a moment to talk about some of our vendors. Start with Conjure and the Root. So Conjure and the Root is a Southern conjure and voodoo botanica where you find all of your hoodoo needs for putting down roots on your target or situation. The owner is Mama Vesha, and she offers root work consultations and tarot readings. If you need root work performed on your behalf, all you need to do is schedule an appointment with her for a free consultation. You can find her at http://conjureroot.com/store. She's also on Facebook, and she is the sweetest person. She has been at several events that I've attended, and she is always willing to help. So we are going to take a break for a chance and give you a chance to go visit the vendors. Don't forget our vendor treasure. You have to talk with the vendor to get their magic word, learn a little bit about them, and maybe browse their store. So we will be back. As the recording is paused, I believe it's safe to talk.
Very good.
So I planned a little too much wiggle room between presentations.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry that my presentation wasn't a little bit longer.
No.
There's only so much I think that you can talk about family.
Definitely.
But you can always bring us on to talk in the wiggle room. We can probably find something interesting to say.
I'd be happy to do that. Just didn't want to throw that at you live.
Yeah. It's my best suggestion.
Yeah. I'm going to give people just that little bit of time. I don't know right now, YouTube seems to have just about caught up. So I was going to give people a little bit of time to do the stream, and apparently for Kidbit to come say hi.
Oh, wow. He's so big.
Yeah.
How old is he now?
He is almost 8.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Bye. Okay. Thank you for announcing that, kiddo.
So today is Remember Thou Art Mortal Day. First,
yes,
the
yes,
ancient vlog, and now the child I remember not having been born yet.
Yeah. Oh no, we're on YouTube live still. It's pausing the recording.
I'm gonna make Dom the host because I'm having problems interacting. But no, in order for it to work, it's a continuous stream. And we can stop and start that, but I have to do it from a host person. Don, you still in the workshop one cell, right?
I am, yes.
Okay, so if I want to stop that, Don can, because I'm having a little bit of difficulty today. Okay, I can stop the live stream for the minute. Yes, I can. There.
I think.
Do you want me to stop
Okay,
it?
I think we should start up again.